stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. I don't even really want to open my mouth today. Yeah. Sometimes I really wonder about myself. So it's weird. For the most part, I don't really feel like I belong anywhere. At least that's how I feel right now. I don't know. I think I'm depressed. And that's what's been going on with me the last couple of days. I've been sleeping a lot. My wife's worried about me. She asked me to go to the doctor this morning. I'm not going to go to the doctor. I don't know what a doctor's going to do besides just piss me the fuck off and tell me how I'm different. Again, I don't need that. Morning, Leisure. It's good to see you, brother. I don't know. This world just sucks, man. I don't want to be a part of it. I want to be on social media. I don't know how else to reach out to people. You know, all I see is a bunch of fucking people with 2 years of sobriety that suddenly fucking think they know everything, just out there. It gets to me, man. A lot of sadness, a lot of anger. Nothing makes me happy. I don't know. Don't know. I'm gonna warm up my coffee real quick. Thank you. Yay, warm coffee. Good morning, Clara Joyce. It's good to see you. I think part of it is the fact that everything just feels fake. I'm not, and I'm talking in a general sense. And thank you, Leisure. I appreciate that. I just, I don't know. I do the best that I can, and there's some day, and I know I'm making an effect, but I just don't. It's not enough. It's not enough. So, I'll probably get to more of that, but I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm confused. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to be here. I don't want to. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be dead. What I want to do is hide under a fucking rock until this is all over with. That's what I want to do. So, and wouldn't mind just disappearing, but that scares the fuck out of me too. We're going to be on Big Book page 25. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Oh, book hit some stuff there. Gotta get back to this. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Even right down to, I've asked several people to be on the podcast and people aren't answering. And, it's like, then my mind starts to go to things like nobody shares my shit. Nobody ever likes my stuff. It's like I'm everybody's hidden, dirty little secret. That's how I feel. And I apologize if I'm offending anyone at all. I'm not meaning to. I'm just letting people know how I feel. And I let people know because, you know, number one, talking about it tends to help people out, including me. That's the part I'm talking about is when we talk about these things, there can be a sense of relief behind it. But I'm tired of these wild emotional swings. So, um, you know, it's like there's a couple of new people in my life I'm trying to be friends with, but I don't know if we actually are friends or if they're just using me so they can get what it is that they need because I am who I am. Because that happens quite often, also. You know, I also allow that to happen. I know that it's happening. I'm not, you know, but when people call me just because there's trouble or, you know, um, and I'm not saying that I don't get phone calls from friends asking how I'm doing. It does happen. A couple of them are here. It's just, I want to fucking strangle everybody being fake. And everywhere I go, there they are. Go to go to AA meetings, there they are. Go online, there they are. Walk outside the door, there they are. I'm tired of bullshit being thrown in my fucking face of people doing stupid, shitty, fucking stupid, fucky things while I'm over here wondering if I'm even able to help anybody. I'm tired of money being involved with fucking all of recovery. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. So, I know I seem like a person that always has his stuff together, but uh, I'm not. I love you too, buddy. I don't want you in my lap. I think my cats know when I'm like this because they tend to, I mean, they already give me plenty of attention. Well, they want attention, but yes, I know. Like this guy, he's still a kitten, so he doesn't know. Let's do some hellos. I haven't said hello to everybody. Good morning, Kathleen. It is good to see you. Um, I hope you and your puppy stay warm. Michelle, it is good to see you. I hope you're doing well. All right, let's go ahead and get to this. Please, I will do my best, but I'm not a person to hide my feelings. Um, so, all right. Yes, he is. I have another kitty cat like that. They'll take turns, and mostly I think he just wants attention because he gets bored. He's barely over a year old, so yeah, absolutely. Well, they sure do appear so online, don't they? You know, everybody. You know what I'm tired of is people saying 8 years ago I got sober and here I am in a fucking bikini in fucking Hawaii. I tell you that's not how recovery works. Stop making recovery a multi-level marketing ad that you're going to get a new Ferrari and a new yacht. Okay, you're not Elmer J. Fudd. You don't own a mansion and a yacht. One of my favorite ones. Stop. I tried to be nice, dude. Enough. Now over there. Jesus. Probably hear him whining. Now I feel bad. Oh, I'm over it. Okay. The nice thing is I do know that I'm not totally alone in the way that I am. I just know that it seems like there's so very few of us that it is hard to find them. It's hard for my attraction, not promotion podcast and live to get anywhere when there's so many fucking distractions, when there's carrots being pulled out and leading people to a place that is probably going to kill them. You know, now I'm seeing people that are quote unquote, codependents, Al-Anon's now coming on because I get it. Now they're going after the fucking family too, you know. Blaming the alcoholic for your own codependency is not a way to go. Okay. A codependent was sick before they got into that relationship. Yes, they were. That's why those two people got together. You attract what you are. And if you are sick, you will attract other people that are spiritually sick. Yes, you will. Right. This is it's fact as fact is fact in my life. Okay. Every codependent also had an alcoholic in their life. They grew up with an alcoholic, or their grandfather or somebody close to them was an alcoholic. And they were taught how to do this stuff at a very, very young age. It's usually the second child that is the black sheep. It is usually the oldest child, right? Well, I'm not talking about distractions for me, leisure, but that is a very good point. That is a very good point. It is. Um, when how lonely were you when you got here? And people are using that loneliness to manipulate other people, and it's disgusting. Here's the shitty part. They think they're doing the right thing. They absolutely 100% think they're doing the right thing because somebody told them. There was no proof in the pudding. There didn't need to be. There needed to be some new miracle of control, right? And it isn't control over the drinking. It's control over the situation in our lives and other people. It is control. Okay, they all think they're He-Man. I have the power. Hey, let's go ahead and get to this because I can talk on that and a lot of people, I gotta follow the title, man. But thank you everybody for being here and sticking around. 6 people, that's a lot for Dion. So let's go ahead and get started. And thank you, God, for doing that for me. I needed that today. I'm going to start on page 24. The fact is that most alcoholics, for a reason yet obscure, have lost the power of choice and drink. That'd be me. Our so-called willpower becomes practically non-existent. We are unable at certain times to bring into our consciousness with sufficient force the memory of suffering and humiliation of even a week or a month ago. We are without defense against the first drink. Without defense against the first drink. Isn't that weird? It does change. This morning I woke up and chose not to take the first drink. I did. Okay. Absolutely. But in the beginning, no, I didn't have a choice even over that first drink. Okay. But God has now that God has lifted that obsession, I do have a choice. God gave me my choice back. Wasn't that nice of him? He didn't have to give it back to me, but he did. Why? Because he believes in me. Not really feeling that way today, but he does. Feelings aren't quite fact in this situation. Right? So the almost certain consequence that following even a glass of beer do not crowd into the mind of to deter us. If these thoughts occur, they are hazy and readily supplanted with the old threadbare idea that we shall handle ourselves like other people. There's a complete failure in the kind of defense that keeps one from putting his hand on a hot stove. You know, I just got done talking about how I'm not like other people. And it's hard when it's recovery and these are supposed to be my people. All right. But see, there's too much there's too much power with not enough accountability. There's got to be accountability. With no accountability, this alcoholic will go do whatever the fuck he wants to, and it isn't going to be good. I said alcoholic, not recovered alcoholic. All right. I was born, I've always been different, always. And it doesn't matter the situation, I'm still treated. It doesn't matter the situation. And sometimes I have to take this as God putting it in front of me because I'm a person that's willing to change, to help make change. I'm willing to do that. Right. But I don't know what it is. I can go to jail 1 week, the next week, since I'm not in jail, I won't even fucking think about it. Nope. And I'll do the same thing I did the weekend before, thinking I'm going to act different this time. Oh, I did think of it, but it wasn't for very long. I'll use it as a comparison to how better I'm going to do this time. Never happened. It never happened. The alcoholic may say to himself in the most casual way, it won't burn me this time, so here's how. Or perhaps he doesn't think at all. That'd be me. How often have some of us begun to drink in this nonchalant way, and after the third or fourth pound of the bar and said to ourselves, for God's sakes, how did I ever get started again? Only to have that thought supplanted by, well, I'll stop with the sixth drink, or what's the use anyhow? And this is what we call drinking on the fuckets, and it is the most dangerous place for an alcoholic to be. Especially if you have money, if you have access to a vehicle. Yeah. You'll hop on your Vespa or you'll do whatever, But it's because when we become indifferent to human life, that's when we become dangerous. That's narcissism. All right. We're going to get to the good stuff, I swear. When this sort of thinking is established in an individual with alcoholic tendency, he has probably placed himself beyond human aid, and unless locked up, may die or go permanently insane. These stark and ugly facts have been confirmed by legions of alcoholics throughout history. But for the grace of God, there would have been thousands more convincing demonstrations. So many want to stop, but cannot. Maybe they haven't been given a fair chance. May they tried, but they got caught up with something that wasn't the right way. Um, all right. By good stuff, I meant more positive. This is what I meant. I know this is good stuff. I try not to do anything half-assed. I sometimes it is half-assed, but it's all I got for that day, right? So there is a solution. Almost none of us like the self-searching, the leveling of pride, the confession of shortcomings, which the process requires for its successful consummation. And that's the difference you'll see between people. Okay? I'm going to tell you the first thing that I look at whenever I'm scrolling through, because there's some good ones out there. There is. Right? I'm not the only one doing it for free and trying to follow the traditions and new set of morals. I'm not the only one. But they're going to be hard to find because they're filled with mucky muck. But the first place that I look is the eyes. And if they ain't shining, you're full of shit. You're not recovered. Recovered alcoholics, their eyes shine. This right here is what makes your eyes shine. You know what makes your eyes shine? Freedom from the bondage of self. Yeah. It's freedom. It's a love. It's an understanding. See, you can't spot fake unless you've gotten past fake. You can't. It's like experience, strength, and hope. You can't have strength and hope without experience. Right? I wouldn't bring much hope to you if I was here at 30 days of sobriety trying to explain this to you, and really I'm just regurgitating the big book, and it's real, you know, you'll know it. You'll know it. But, and this is where trust kind of comes in, is in this point. Okay. Because when I got into the program the first time, no, I didn't trust any of these people. Of course, they did put a roof over my head. They were putting food in my belly. They were giving me a pack of cigarettes every single day. They were allowing me to be there. So there was some trust. Okay. But the trust that I saw was that I was seeing it work in other people. And these people were Skid Row drunks, people that have been living on the streets for 20 years, 25 years. You know, we used to bring people into the Phoenix concept drunk. Okay. You know how most doors go in, front doors? This one went out. So when you came in, that door shoved your fucking ass in. We had one guy, he came in and we had to take care of him. We had to wipe his ass. We had to fucking shower him. This was early 90s, man. Late 80s, early 90s. This wasn't, you know, and we sobered his ass up, took him to the hospital, make sure. It was a month, okay? But after a little while, he started to remember his name, remember where he came from. And it turns out this guy was a millionaire. He was a millionaire. He owned 3 or 4 of the major clubs in town, and he had a lot of money. He stayed for about another month. He actually bought me a Batman t-shirt at one point. New Batman had just come out. The very first Batman had just come out, right? Shannon, my wife now, was my girlfriend. I'm gonna get to that. Clara Joyce. And please feel free to chat. I'm doing everything that I can, but I'm certainly not upset with my friends. I'm not. Well, he decided he didn't need the program. This is a year-long program. And Ray said, you know, and he made sense. He's like, you ended up here. He's like, you do believe in God. We've talked about this. Don't you think that God brought you here for a reason? Didn't work. Didn't work. Now, I think he gave us, I'm not sure what lump sum of money he gave us, but there were a couple of zeros behind it. Thank you for your time. 2 weeks later, he was dead. He was found in Vegas and he asphyxiated on his vomit. Proof in the pudding. There again, life telling me. Life telling me. You see, I keep hearing people say, this is something that needs to end, by the way. Stop utilizing the newcomers to remind you of what it was like out there. Stop going to meetings and saying, oh, I love newcomers because they remind me of what it's like out there. Do you know what you're saying to them when you say that? Does it remind me also? Not necessarily. I work the fucking front lines. I work the front lines, man. That's how I find out. I don't need to go very far outside my house to figure out it still ain't working. I don't need to utilize the newcomer for that. No, we're supposed to surround them and love them, not use them for satisfaction. Stop doing that. All right? We're going to give newcomer, you know, when we do something like yesterday, I was in a meeting and they give 10 minutes to the newcomers. I think that's a great idea. It's certainly better than singling them out and making them feel even more terminally unique or a piece of shit because they're new. No, just something that, you know. But we saw that it really worked in others, and we had come to believe in the hopelessness and futility of life as we had been living it. Yeah, the way I was living life was horrible. And I don't need to go into that. You had your own horrible experience, and it was just as bad. Sure, it was. I mean, I can talk about this and that, but that doesn't mean your experiences are less than just because it seemed like mine was more arduous. No, that doesn't create equality, you know. So when therefore we were approached by those who in whom the problem had been solved, there was nothing left for us but to pick up the simple kit of spiritual tools laid at our feet. We have found much of heaven, and we have been rocketed into a fourth dimension of existence of which we had not even dreamed. Now I'm going to go back to what Clara Joyce was saying here because I don't want to skip it. The word fake has me thinking, am I fake? And am I the same person wherever I go? Yes, is my answer. Absolutely. And what a good way to put it, right? The Dion you get now is the Dion everybody kind of gets. I may change how I'm saying something to fit the people so that they understand, but I don't have to wear different hats. Now there's only one hat, it's your hat. And there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the real you, man. I'd much rather have a crazy real you than a fake one that doesn't really seem to get anywhere. I would. I'd much rather have that. So, yeah. But so what is this? What is this simple kit of spiritual? Simple. And remember the other day, I'm still thinking, yeah, and masks. It's definitely masks. You know, what is a mask? Well, it's Dr. Hyde. Hide. Named Hyde because you try and hide it. It's not hide as in a bear hide or something. There's a meaning to that name, right? We don't need to hide anymore. I don't need to. Why would I hide? Because of shame. That's why. Fear. Well, I don't live in that world. The one thing that I do not feel is shameful about myself. I do not. You know, maybe I'm not depressed. Maybe I'm just feeling my feels because I don't feel depressed. You know, but here's the thing. Why do I need to put anything? Why do I need to attach something to it? So I can work on it? Maybe it needs to stay. Maybe Dion is supposed to feel this way today. Right? So what is this simple kit? Well, it'd be the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. There's one, going to meetings. What is the first tool? Willingness. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. That is the simple kit of spiritual tools laid at our feet. And it's usually laid at our feet by our sponsor. And being rocketed into the fourth dimension means you're going to see things, you're going to experience things in this world that most people are never even going to have a chance at because they didn't like the self-searching, the leveling of the pride and the confession of shortcomings. They didn't want to do that. Okay. It's just a bunch of two-stepping and you'll see it. And I think it's because I feel so deeply that it drives me bonkers, man. It drives me a little crazy. All right. Okay. And whose problem was that? Well, that part would be my problem, right? Yes, it would. All right. The great fact is just this and nothing less, that we have had deep and effective spiritual experiences. We, not them, we, that includes them, but this is a we program. Have you ever been to an AA meeting and the group itself had a spiritual experience? I have. You bet. Go to an AA convention, you'll feel it there. See, it requires a certain amount of people. It needs people in it. Well, I don't want to say required because I don't know. But it happens at grassroots all the time where people come into the meeting and they are not doing well, and everybody leaves better. That's a spiritual experience. You know, a newcomer comes in, first time at AA. We got a couple of those in grassroots, and everybody circles them. You're doing great. You're awesome. You're doing well. Anything you need to talk about? Yeah, we got you covered. Come. Maybe nobody's available to sponsor, but here's our grassroots WhatsApp. Hop on there. Ask us anything. Those are group spiritual experiences that we get to be a part of, and it's a we thing. Okay. Jack has a very short memory. Fine, get on my lap. He's just insistent. Well, it isn't that he's insistent, it's that he loves me a lot. My cats love the fuck out of me. So I feed them, I scoop their poop. When they're walking around whining, I take care of them, take them outside. I make them feel protected. Right? Okay. All right. Okay, dude, just can you settle in at least? Um, which have revolutionized our whole attitude toward life, toward our fellows, and towards God's universe. The central fact of our lives today is the absolute certainty that our Creator has entered into our hearts and lives in a way which is indeed miraculous. Yes, you're cute. I'll give you my view. That's my view. All right. Caught shot. Oh, you will not be seeing me wear any more Deadpool stuff. No, no. I learned some things about Ryan Reynolds, and no, thank you. Mm-mm. No, I'm going to leave it at that because you can go. Because if you're a Ryan Reynolds fan, I don't want to. But anyway, that's just me giving my opinion. Dude, I love you. I'm on camera. All right. If you are seriously as an alcoholic as we were, we believe there is no middle of the road solution. We were in a position where life was becoming impossible, and if we had passed into the region from which there is no return through human aid, we had but two alternatives. I told a story of a man earlier, okay, and who died an alcoholic death. Okay, here was his choice right here. And God gave him his choice. I mean, the motherfucker was drinking at a bar, ended up in Skid Row, walked through our door. I mean, how much more of being rocketed into the fourth dimension does an alcoholic need? It's hard, huh? Because we could all see it. But for him, it wasn't for him, right? It wasn't for him. One was to go on to the bitter end, blotting out the consciousness of our intolerable situation as best we could, and the other to accept spiritual help. Okay, there are some things in AA that are black and white. They need to be. Okay, but there's a lot of gray in AA also. There's a lot of gray, and you got to find the beauty in the gray. You got to find beauty in the gray. I'm stealing it from a song by Live called "Beauty of Gray." Right? Live is an extremely spiritual band. They weren't a bunch of drinker, drugger. No, they're Buddha, actually. Well, band broke up. Ed's still lead singing now. So, Ed Kowalczyk's one of my favorite singers. And I got a chance to meet him. Yeah, I was drunk. Anyway, right? This we did because we honestly wanted to, and we're willing to make an effort. It's because we want to. You got to get to that point of, it's kind of like meetings. Once you find that meeting that works really well for you, you're gonna want to go back. You will actually get excited that your AA meeting is coming up. What, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? You know, today, we have our grassroots meeting today at noon for anybody that would like to join. And I'm looking forward to it because a lot of my friends show up to that. There's there's a lot of deep connection in that meeting. I don't know where the comfort's coming from. I'm presuming it's God. Um, I tend to do the hosting and the chairing, but I don't rule the meeting, right? Yesterday there's a guy who did an introduction. He's like, the first 10 minutes are for the, and everybody gets 3 minutes. If everybody gets 3 minutes and you're chairing, you only get 3 minutes too. That's the way I work it for me. See, I've got to follow the rules too. You bet. So let's get to the daily reflection reading portion here. So I was just doing a little bit of organizing because things are feeling overwhelming. So I'm taking care of one little, if I see something little, I'm just kind of taking care of it. So before we get to that reading, all the things I found after being rocketed were always there. Yeah. It's because it was finally real, huh? Oh, good for her. 23 years. It's always good. I maybe hearing a birthday is kind of what I need to remind me that AA is not about, we're not about popularity, and that, pretty much every alcoholic is a super promoter. And yeah, and now what, now that I've been talking and stuff, um what Leisure said earlier, where is it? Now I can get to this. Now I can get to this. Right? Now I can go back to loving these people unconditionally, because it's not really unconditional love when I'm calling them fake. Even if they are being fake, right? So um I also don't want Amber to think um that I missed that. I'm glad that you got Ken. My Pastor Marcia has offered me a place to escape. I'm just waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit, and Shan and I are going to get the fuck out of town. All right. And there's no, they won't have. I'm going to miss my AA meetings too. I'm going to have internet, because taking a vacation from my lives is not something I am willing to do. That'd be like telling me that I can't poop. It's as much a thing as breathing for me. It's part of my meditation each day. This is what gets me out of my own head. So, all right. My first attempt at the steps was one of obligation and necessity, which resulted in a deep feeling of discouragement in the face of all those adverbs. Oh man. Now, just because somebody comes into the program and even does the steps for somebody else begrudgingly, things like that, it's still okay. It's still okay. Maybe we're planting a seed, but it's well, exactly. And you can have internet. Two in one shot. Right? It's an old outhouse, but but it's got like screaming internet and a place to hang up your phone. Oh, creature comforts. Thank you for making me laugh, Amber. I needed that. I did. So, in the face of all those adverbs, courageously, completely, humbly, directly, and only, I considered Bill W. fortunate to have gone through such a major change, even sensational spiritual experience. Do you? Do you consider him fortunate? I wouldn't have wanted to be Bill W. No. I hear what they're saying, though. It'd be nice if I could have just suddenly been well. right? That didn't happen to Bill. You know, he had a sudden spiritual experience, but a spiritual experience doesn't qualify recovered. That's not, in this case, it was something a little different. It was something a little different. I don't think I could have, I don't think, it sounds really fucking uncomfortable to me. That's what it sounds like. See, the work is going to need to be done. It's going to need to be done. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. It really depends upon the person. See, we tend to attract who we are and what people need, right? And I'm gonna give a great example here. Um, Amber tends to take sponsees through the steps fairly quickly, so therefore she tends to attract the people that need that. See? Yeah. That's why we need different ways. That's why we need them. So I with my guys, it usually takes a little bit longer, but I usually tend to work with people that are older that have gone through a lot more, you know. So I tend to attract what my type of sobriety, right? Um, their defects are always glaring at me because I'm looking at me as hard. So I see in the yeah, the spot it, you got it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I thought it was pretty cool of you earlier to say, because this is being honest with ourselves. Okay, so they're being fake and it upsets me. Am I being fake? See, what a great thought process. And the fact that you even asked yourself, the answer is no. From my point of view, seeing it for you. Inside, it's not going to quite go that way, right? But it's going to be tough to go to grassroots and be fake because there's too many people in there seeking the truth. See, I found that once you get past all the bullshit, the only thing left is the truth. And it doesn't hurt like it used to. Now, now we find that sometimes being wrong makes it right. And isn't that really what we're after? I'm wrong quite often. Okay. If it makes it right, I want to be wrong. I do. It's okay to change. It's okay to change, man. I had to discover as time went on that my path was my own. Yes, claim your path, man. I can put a flag on that fucking thing and claim it. Just like we claim spiritual progress. Claim it, man. It's yours. It's yours. You ever been playing a video game on your phone or whatever and you accomplish something? It's like press here to claim your reward. Well, claim it. You claim that. Yeah. You know, earlier with what I was doing and going through this, what was I doing? I was claiming where I was at. Sure. After a few 24 hours in the AA fellowship, thanks especially to the sharing members in the meetings, I understood that everyone gradually finds his or own pace in moving through the steps. Through progressive means, I tried to live according to these suggested principles. As a result of these steps, I can say that my attitude towards life, people, and towards anything having to do with God has been transformed and improved. I'm glad that they put improved in there because my mind was thinking, well, I don't know, I was just talking shit earlier, wasn't I? So it's kind of hard for me to claim that I've been transformed, but I can go with improved. Sure, sure I can, right? So, yes, there would be no solution if I didn't claim the experience. Yeah. Good or bad. Good or bad. We claimed all the bad stuff. We gotta claim the good stuff too. It's only fair to you. So wrapping up here, you know, because I am a person that gets treated, and when I say everything in my life, I get treated differently. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And that may happen to you too, right? But what I won't do is be somebody that I'm not in order to be liked by the general public. I'm not willing to do that anymore. I tried that route and it nearly killed me. Yeah. You know, I don't think too highly of myself, but I certainly don't think I'm a piece of shit. No, I don't think that, you know. So be undeniably you. See, there's perfection in all these things, okay? And you're a child of God. So what does that make you? Well, it makes you perfect exactly the way that you are. And maybe one day, I will even see the fake people that way. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Oh, Michelle, using my own words against me. What the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So claim being different. We'll end it there. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. Really today, I really did need people today. Um, lot of great chat, a lot of great suggestions. And so what did we do? Well, we created a spiritual experience for a group of people. We did it again. Cat's back. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.